Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joanne and I'm a first year student studying the Juris Doctor at Deakin University. I'm having great fun. So for those of you that are on my live last night, we were watching the Friendlyjordies video and I'd mentioned how I'd wondered what Justice Rares had to say about the timeline of Barilaro resigning. And I found it last night and I put it onto my Twitter. If you're a follower of me on Twitter, you'd have seen it there. And I had tagged Friendlyjordies in there because I had said, hey, I was watching Friendlyjordies video and I remembered something. Anyway, he messaged me and said, wow, what a great fight. So I'm going to play the second part of that where they're talking about this timeline and where Barilaro about the story. And then I'm going to show you what was in the judgment, what Justice Rares believed, because now we're not talking about a reasonable person. We're talking about a justice of the Federal Court of Australia. And then I'm going to leave it to you. You are going to be the jury. You are going to tell me what version you believe. I think we've got 3 versions now. I don't know. I've sort of lost count. But you can tell me what you think. Which version is believable. Now remember, the affidavit or his legal document he would have signed under oath. He was sworn under oath when he gave his testimony in the Federal Court of Australia for the defamation case, which is where the Justice Rares got his information from. He also was under oath when he gave his testimony before the inquiry. So we've got multiple times where he said that he would tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God, which he did. He said the oath. But as I said, you are the jury. You are my jury, and I'm in black because you are the jury, and you are going to tell me what you believe is the truth. All right, here we go. Here's this section.
When we needed stability, but it gave me the opportunity for a refresh of the government, and that is why, after conversations with some personal friends and, of course, Minister Stokes and others, I made a decision.
You accept that some of your colleagues around that cabinet table, as these roles changed, would not have known that you had made a decision.
No, I disagree. I think a lot of my colleagues knew, because I was quite public throughout my term, that I was not facing the next election. I think that was obvious. Secondly, it is irrelevant to that debate, because this wasn't about a cabinet submission for me.
Mr. Barrow, I just only have a few follow-up questions arising from the 2 lines of questioning that my colleague just asked you about. First, just in respect to this particular statement that I think we've established you provided the court, was it the Supreme Court, New South Wales Supreme Court? Federal Court, on the 24th September 2021. I think my colleague took you to the first 2 sentences, which you read out. But the third sentence does say this. To be fair, it supports what you just said. Although I have previously contemplated resigning, the respondent's conduct has played an instrumental role in my decision. That's abundantly clear to all. But when you read the first in conjunction with the second, an ordinary reader may well conclude that at that point on the 24th of September 2021, you reached a point of definite decision as opposed to future decision. Now, I'm going to ask you to respond, because to be fair to you, Mr. Barilaro, you've told us just then that you say that I have therefore made a decision to retire from politics at some point, is what you said to us. But to be fair, that's not what you said here. You said, you said, I have therefore made a decision to retire from politics, not at some point. And I do not want to face another election. I accept that. I do accept that, Mr. Barilaro. What I'm asking you to respond to is that you make the point that you've previously contemplated resigning, and the respondent's conduct made the instrumental role. Absolutely. And that's not clearly, that's abundantly clear to all, that's what's happened. But the issue is again, that's not, shouldn't you not perhaps said or clarified this to the court? Because otherwise you are leaving the impression that what you've told us today is at least more complete an answer than you provided the court on 24 September 2021.
Not at all. This is reflective of the time and how I was feeling and how I felt. And this is absolutely in line with what I said in the court. Today I've been able to give you a fuller answer in relation and an honest answer that I even said that the pressures that I was going through, that there's the struggles and the attacks, and you...
Hang on a minute. He said, hang on.
Perhaps said or clarified this to the court, because otherwise you are leaving the impression that what you've told us today is at least more complete an answer than you provided the court on 24 September 2021.
Not at all. This is reflective of the time and how I was feeling and how I felt. And this is absolutely in line with what I said in the court. Today I've been able to give you a fuller answer in relation and an honest answer.
He said he's been able to give an honest answer. So did he not give the court an honest answer? Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to be commentating. I can't resist.
So that I even said that the pressures that I was going through, that there's the struggles and the attacks, and you are aware because it's quite public. It wasn't just online. There was threats when I used to go to a local pub, etc. So the reality here is that I originally wanted to leave in June, but because of Delta, that didn't occur. That didn't take away that I made a decision I would not face the next election. Now, you want to get caught up on the words. I'm giving you today exactly what went through my head at that time, and it's in line with what I said on the day that I retired.
The other point you made in respect to the questioning asked by my colleagues, you said that you brought the submission after you were requested to do so by ministers and MPs.
Okay, so as I said, I wasn't going to say anything, but he said he gave a more complete and fuller answer, which I thought, and honest. So here is the judgment that was handed down on the 6th of June. Okay, it's very long. So we've got to go to paragraph 198. I know that there's the search function, but this is more fun. But it talks about this background there. Got some cartoons. It's really great when court judgments actually have pictures in them because it really helps. Okay, so we go to paragraph 198. Look, there's Jordies. Okay. I will post the link so you can actually go and read it for yourself if you are that way inclined. It actually does make some interesting reading. And that's the policy. Okay. So we go to been following along. Yeah, so you got all these pictures in there. So we get to paragraph 198. Yes, I could have just gone to it, but I wanted to show you it is the full judgment. Okay, so it says, earlier, Mr. Barilaro had stated publicly that he was thinking of leaving the politics in 2023, being the year of the next election. He believed that politics should not be a career. However, because of constraints caused by COVID-19 pandemic on the government's ability to pursue a reform agenda, he had told colleagues that he was thinking about leading the party to the 2023 election. Let me read that again. He told colleagues that he was thinking about leading his party to the 2023 election. Mr. Barilaro said if Google had taken down the video in late 2020 when he asked it, he may have stayed on. when the new Premier, the Honourable Dominic Perrottet MP, asked him to stay in office. Mr. Barilaro explained his state of mind as follows. Now, this is a quote. He's added the emphasis, but this would have come from the Hansard. Premier Perrottet had pleaded with me to stay, the idea of a Perrottet-Barilaro government. But to be honest, I was so broken emotionally, no strength, after what I had endured in the by-election of Upper House, where I'm being attacked by people with brush shirts. I couldn't face another election. I couldn't face another term. I couldn't face the end of this term. I mean, even if I wanted to go, I would have gone in 2023, not in October. And I saw the opportunity because the Premier had stood down. I was done. I was broken. I was hurt. I had nothing left in the tank and I went. And like I said, I should have, I went on my terms, I suppose, but it's a bit premature about what my terms could have been if I had been there for the rest of the term. On the 5th, so paragraph 199, on the 5th of October 2021, Mr. Barilaro resigned his office as Deputy Premier and Minister in the New South Wales Government and announced his intention to retire from Parliament. On the next day, he resigned as Parliamentary Leader of the National Party. Now this is his own words that he gave in his sworn testimony in court. This is Justice Rare's summary of it. So now we're not talking about an ordinary, reasonable person. We're talking about a well-respected federal court justice who came to the conclusion that, who stated that he was under the impression that Barilaro could have stayed on to the 2023 election. So you've heard what he said in the parliamentary inquiry. You've heard what Justice Reyes has said. So now it's your turn to tell me what you think. I'm looking forward to reading your comments below. Bye for now.